Hey guys, it's Carolina here from KarolinasKrafts and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be trying to be making a bunch of cards, okay? So I got this, it's like a die cut sheet from Echo Park's mystery box when they had like a warehouse sale going on. So I got this sheet. I don't have the collection, so I don't have the matching papers to go with it. I don't have anything else. I just have this one cut apart kind of sheet with all these different like mermaid themed cut aparts. So we're going to try and make some cards with this. I had already pre-made some card bases. So these measure 5.5 by 4 inches. And that's just how I did them in order to fit the envelopes that I have. So they're 5.5 by 4. So I got a bunch of card bases that I already made. And then I already picked out some paper, and these are scrap papers from my stash. Just picking out a bunch of different kind of scrappies that I think maybe we'll get to use some of these. And I just picked out like some blues, purples, some oranges, because those are all in the collection or in that cut apart sheet. So just a bunch of scraps that I picked out that I'm thinking we might be able to use some of these, and I want to get rid of them because they're all in like my scrap stash pile. So I was thinking we could get rid of some of these and make some cards at the same time. So yeah, I just got a bunch that I pulled. And then these guys also. And you could see I've got a bunch of like different sizes. Some we could use for like little strips and accent pieces. Got some glitter here. So we're gonna get started, and it's just gonna be like a process video, just kind of walking you guys through everything or showing you guys everything. All right, so stay tuned and let's see what I come up with. Alright guys, so here we go. We're going to get started on making my cards. So I did speed up this video a whole lot, otherwise it was an hour and 40-minute long process video making these 10 cards. So here we go. So I started off cutting out some purple glitter cardstock, just a little bit smaller than my card base, which is 4 by 5.5. So I did the gold, not the gold, I keep saying gold, the purple glitter, and then I did like this watercolor thing that I just had from my stash, and I did 2 of these. I was going to make the same kind of card, but that didn't really work out. So I have the same base of the card, but you'll see the cards are different. I picked out 2 sentiments. I picked out one tag, and then this other one that just says I am a mermaid, and I thought it went well with one of the cards. So for this first card, I'm going to be layering a patterned paper on top of that scrap piece of purple glitter cardstock, just to add a little bit of interest and another layer of another kind of paper. I was originally thinking I was going to do a sideways, but then I was like, I don't know. I kind of want it to go vertical style, so then I cut it down a little bit more and I made it vertical. Then I am using my ATG gun, and you guys know I love this thing, and I really only use it when I'm making cards, but for making cards, it is a lifesaver and a game changer. So if you're going to be making cards, you need the ATG gun. Like, I would not sit there placing double-sided tape and then peeling off the backings of that tape. Like, no. The ATG gun just makes it so much easier when you're making cards. So that's the only thing I use when I make cards. So anyway, I have that other strip attached. Then I am using the sentiment I am a mermaid, and I decided to use some gold foiled scraps and to put that on there. Then I took my multi-hole puncher and just punched out those holes just so it's the same shape of that sentiment, and then I'm going to stick it down onto the card, but I'm not going to put it directly in the center. I'm going to put it a little bit towards towards the top, and then as my final touch, I'm going to add in some enamel dots after I add it to my white card base. So again, I made a whole bunch of white card bases sized 4 by 5.5, and I did it that way or that size because that will fit into the envelopes that I have personally, but you can make them whatever size you want. So I'm adding in these purple gemmies. I always like to add them on top of glue just so I know that they're going to make sure to stay and they're not going to go anywhere, they're not going to move, they're not going to fall off. They're just a little bit more sturdier because you never know how sticky that sticky actually is, right? So now I'm going to take that second card base that I had made before and we're going to think about what we're going to do with that tag. So I am going through my scrappies here and I pulled out this turquoise striped paper. I'm cutting off a strip only to realize, hey, I want a thicker strip actually, so I'm going to cut off another strip instead. And this is just going to go across the top of my card. And then I was like, maybe I want this to have a white border, but I actually ended up not liking that white border, so I ended up just sticking down the turquoise without that white border and just directly on top of my card base. I was trying to do it at first like I did with the purple glitter cardstock with the purple border, but it didn't look as good with the white border, so I just left it as a turquoise. Then I was going through my scrappies again, decided I wanted to add a couple of flags, so I made this one flag out of the gold houndstooth kind of thing, and I do have this flag punch from Hobby Lobby, so I did use that to give me that flag shape. And then I decided I wanted another one, so I did another one. But guys, as I was making these cards, I do have a binder of like printed kind of card template designs. Now, there's only like one card where I followed it like almost exactly. Everything else, I started off following it, and then I just kind of did my own thing. So it's there for inspiration. It's just like on the side of my table. It's just there for inspiration. Most of my card designs that I do have printed, though, are from moomonday.blogspot.com. That's where most of my card designs, I think, are from. But you know what, guys? Oh, no, sorry, not Moo Monday. It's Mojo Monday. So they're just like card sketches, and I just have a whole bunch printed, and I was just kind of going through it, depending on what sentiment I had. I was trying to not to use too many like die cut things that I would have to die cut out, so I tried to go with some more simpler ones. But you guys could check out either Mojo Monday or just type in card sketches on Pinterest, and they have so many that you guys could just look through, print out, put in a binder, and just like refer to whenever you're making some cards. And I find that the easiest way to make these kinds of cards, like have some card sketches. You don't have to follow them exactly, and oftentimes I don't, but they're there and they're great to have for inspiration. So anyway, I added the two flags behind that turquoise strip. Then I added my tag on some foam tape, and then I just decorated with some gemmies. And you can see I added my tag with like a gold foiled border, and I added some twine. But that was card number 2. So now we're going to get started on card number 3. So for card number 3 and 4, I'm just picking out the die cut sentiments I want to use first. Then I'm just going to kind of go through my stash and look for the bigger scrappies, and I'm going to make kind of like the card base. So whatever pattern I want in the main background, that's like the first thing I end up cutting down, and I usually pick out a pattern that somewhat matches my sentiment that I'm going to choose. So for this first one, I chose like this yellow background. I don't care too much for the flowers. It was just for the yellow background because I thought it goes with this die cut piece that says be a mermaid and make waves. Then I'm taking this like a lighter, kind of like a minty kind of color, and I just cut out a strip. This is going to be a horizontal card, so I cut out a strip to go horizontally, and then I actually decided that it needed a little something more. So I went with another strip, so just the other scrap that I had from before, from cutting out from the previous card. I just had this on the side, so I decided to cut out a piece of that. I added another layer of just white on the back, just because that one part, it's going to be double layered, so one part is going on top of that other pattern paper, and then one of them needs that second layer just so it lays flat and even on my card. I'm doing the same thing with my die cut, or my cutout kind of sentiment piece, and I'm just adding some strips of white cardstock scraps to the back just to even out the cards so that everything kind of lays flat and even and nothing is hanging off, which I probably should have done on the top too, but oh well, we only did on the bottom. It's fine, you can't even tell. So then I added in some enamel dots, and I just go through my enamel dot stash and see what matches as I'm making the cards. So here I decided this light blue was good. So for card number 4, we're going to use this other sentiment that says Mermaid off duty. And I'm here just picking out some paper that I was thinking I'm going to use. And what I actually ended up doing is just cutting out my card base with this Prima paper that I had in my scrap stash. So I have that, and then I decided, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, I have no clue. This is just a really cute, like really big sentiment, and this paper is actually just really pretty. But I wanted to leave that orange in there because it has the orange in the Mermaid off-duty sentiment. So I ended up going with another scrap piece of paper, and I ended up just doing like a little ripping technique, which you guys are going to see in a second, after I played around with like thinking I was going to put in strips and stuff of paper. Like, I played around with it. This is why it takes me an hour and 40 minutes for 10 cards, guys. Because like I said, I kind of followed sketches, but most of the time, not really. So I just kind of did my own thing. So I'm just here figuring out what I want to do. So I decided I wanted to go with that orange and accentuate the orange. And I was like, maybe I just want like a border around this die cut piece. But that I ended up not liking that either. So what I actually did with that piece is that's the piece that I used to kind of do like that little ripping technique. And I just created like half card kind of thing, I think. Yes. So before I even stick that down, I added the tape, and then before I stick it down, I decided to tear it, and that ended up looking much better, in my opinion, than those straight edges. So then I just added in my sentiment, and that was like the simplest card ever, but yet that one took me a really long time to figure out how to make. Then I added in these like orange jemmies that I had in my stash, again attaching them on top of some glue just so that I could make sure they're nice and sturdy. So that was card number 4. Now for card number 5, I picked out some more sentiments, but I actually decided I'm gonna just, take off all the die cut pieces off of the sheet, because it's just easier than going back to the sheet trying to take them all off later. So I'm just going to take all of these off, and I'll be back some more to walk you guys through of what I'm doing.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste.
Alrighty, so now that I have all of my die cut pieces off of the sheet, I'm just picking out a couple that I want to work with next. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this one that says, I'm done adulting, let's be mermaids. And I was thinking this orange background for it. I can't remember what I decided. I think I did use that as a base, but then I layered a bunch of other papers on top of it, which you guys will see. So orange is the background. There's some orange coral in that tag, so it's fine, it'll match. Then I picked out some more scrappies, and I went with this light blue kind of color, and I'm creating like a strip that's just smaller. And then I decided it needs another strip after that that's a little bit smaller to get down to the tag size. So just making my way down, making my way downtown. No, just kidding. But making my way down in the sizes and just cutting it down smaller. And then the next one is the tag, and I thought that looked pretty good. So then I ended up just sticking that down afterwards. Sometimes I stick things down as I go and just figure it out later. Sometimes I play around with it and like arrange it on the paper first before I stick it down, so it just depends what I feel like doing. So that's why this is a process video and not a tutorial, because I mean, but I hope it inspires you guys, and I hope it, you know, you guys get some ideas from these kinds of videos of how I do things, or what kind of cards you could make with just some scrappies and some die cut pieces, or even just ephemera that you have in your stash. Like, I hope it gives you guys some inspiration, because I had these die cut pieces sitting on my desk for a couple of months now, and I was like, I need to get rid of these, so I just need to make some cards. Alright, so for my next card, I don't even know what number we're on, but I decided to do that yellow floral background, and then I decided to take this other striped, like minty kind of green color, and cut it at a diagonal, and put that on top of the card. Then I have this die cut piece, which now I'm realizing I put that down the wrong way. I didn't even know. Those scales should have been the other way, but they're sideways. Oh well, like, can't change it now. But I didn't even realize until I'm speaking and editing this video. Anyway, so I put that frame in the back, then they had a little like cutout piece. I forgot what it says. Oh, it says, "Isn't it neat?" Wait, what does it say? I don't even know. Something, "Isn't it neat?" But anyway, so I put that piece on some foam and on behind some gold foil cardstock, or on top of some gold foil cardstock, just to give it a little bit of accent. And then there was this flag as another die cut, and I just added that to the bottom of the card, trying to use up those pieces. Then I added in some enamel dots. This time I went for some purple enamel dots on this card. And yeah, you guys know I organize all of my enamel dots by color, so they're nice and easy to find, and you can see how well that's working out for me right now. So if you guys want to see that enamel dot storage video, I will have that link down below for you guys as well, in case you guys want to check it out and store your enamel dots in a similar way, because it makes life easier when you know what color you need, and that's the color you're going to go to grab, instead of going through all your colors in your stash and then not being able to find what you need. Okay, so for my next card, this is one where I followed like a card sketch, like I really followed a card sketch here. So I did the base background in that like purple triangle paper. Then I cut out a larger like square in that turquoise polka dot paper, and it's meant to cover most of the card except for the top and bottom like borders of that purple. Then it had some flags in it, so I am using my purple glitter cardstock scraps and cutting out 4 flags, which I only ended up using 3. So I added 1 to the left hand side, and then I'm going to add 2 to the right next to each other, leaving a gap on like the middle left hand side. And you guys are going to see why, but this card, guys, it actually turned out being my favorite from the whole batch that I made, or one of my favorites. I think I have like 3 favorites out of the 10. I think they're all cute, but I definitely have my 3 favorites. So anyway, I have those flags down, then I added in that square on top, and I finally stuck that down. Now I needed another scrappy, and this is going to be like a square strip, and then we need another flag piece, and there's just a lot of layers to this card, but I actually really like how it turned out. So this turquoise piece is going to be bigger than that square in height, but definitely not as wide, and you guys can see how that looks there. It goes over the flags a little bit and over that top pattern a little bit. Then I have this other piece in my stash, and this is going to be a large flag that goes from that very top, going down over all of those other pieces and past down those other purple flags. Then what am I doing next? I think there's like a circle involved. Oh, first we got this other strip first that we're just gonna put down across the center of the card. So I got that, and now I think I'm gonna get a circle. So okay, this is a sentiment I'm using. The shell, yeah, and I decided I need another circle cut out because that's what was in my card sketch. So I took out a die, I cut out a circle. I was going to use that purple like triangle pattern, and then I was like, wait, I like the pattern on the back side better, so I ended up having that back side showing, and it's just a circle that goes over all those other layered elements that we had included in our card, and then you offset that smaller circle of my sentiment. So you have like two little circles, and then I attached that to my card base, and then we're going to attach some jemmies as well. But this card, like, it turned out really cute. I really like this card sketch a whole lot, so I definitely like how that turned out, though it was a lot of layers. But you know what, guys? It was also a nice amount of paper that I got to use up from my scrap stash, which is always a good thing, right? We're trying to get rid of that paper, so I was happy to use that all up right there. So then for my next card, I picked out the Swim with Mermaids sentiment, and I'm going to cut the background of my card base using another scrap in my stash. This is another Prima paper. I think it's from like the Surf collection or something. I don't really know, but something like that. So I'm just using this paper as my background, and then I'm going to use another darker color, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to create a strip, and we're going to glue that down somewhere, but we're also going to create like a smaller square. This one is another one where I followed the card sketch, not to a T, but I did follow a lot of it using the card sketch. So I put that square down kind of like in the bottom right center kind of section. Then I have that other darker strip that goes across, and then I realized my sentiment is a little too long, so I probably should have done this card horizontally, but oh well. And we ended up making it work and just cutting it down, and that worked out fine. So I knew I wanted that sentiment that says Swim with Mermaids, and then I also have that little one that says Never Grow Up. And this card sketch had two circles, so I went and die cut out a circle. They had them on top instead of how I did it with one behind it, but that's fine. This is what I mean. Like, I use it as inspiration. It doesn't always mean I follow it exactly. So I added that circle behind it because I didn't want it to cover my sentiment that says Swim with Mermaids, so I have that gold foiled circle behind. Then I have the Swim with Mermaid sentiment, and then I have the Never Grow Up on top of that. And then I added in some enamel dots, and there's another card that I really like how this one turned out as well. So I've got a bunch of cards now, but I think we still have maybe one or two more to go. I'm trying to do 10 cards in this video, and there's going to be a part 2 because I'm not going to get through all the cards in this video because it's a long, guys. It's a lot of time, so I'm going to have to do a process video part 2 showing you guys how I do the next batch of cards. So for this one, I did follow a card sketch, but I don't know if I really love this card sketch. And so basically with this one, half of the card, and this is a vertical card, not a vertical, sorry, this is a horizontal card. So half of the card you cover in one pattern of a paper. The other half you choose 2 more patterns. Now I don't know if I just don't like it because I have 2 dark patterns on the right hand side and a light pattern on the left hand side. I don't know, but I felt like I needed something else, which you guys will see in a second. Then I ended up die cutting out like this flower kind of thing in yellow. The card sketch had that flowery thingy, I think it was in the center, with the sentiment over it directly, but I didn't like how that looked, and you guys will see that in a second. So I'm cutting out that flowery thing in this yellow floral card that I have, and it's just, I didn't cut it all the way through. This normally cuts out the center and the frame, but I was using a different kind of sandwich thing, so it didn't cut all the way through, which is great because I needed both pieces anyway. So I have that there, and then I offset my sentiment to the right hand side because I didn't like how it looked directly in the middle, but then it still kind of felt a little plain to me. So I cut out a flag out of the green that matches like the mermaid tail in the sentiment, and I just added that flag to the top left hand corner, and then we just added in some enamel dots. So I like the card better with that flag that I added, and kind of like the offset, but maybe next time I would just try to find some different patterns. So for my next card, and I think this might be my last one for this video, I'm going to use another sentiment, and I have no idea what it says. It's off to the right hand side on the screen and I can't read it, but anyway, we're picking out a floral paper this time. This time it's got like some orange in it, and I also picked out a darker pattern to match the sentiment, and I did a little bit of a ripping technique, totally making up this card as I go. And so I did that ripping technique, adding that to the left hand side of my card. So just covering up some of that orange. There was a lot of orange on that card, or the background of it at least. Then I'm cutting out some flags. Actually, wait, no, I was following a card sketch for this one. Not to a T though, but I was inspired by a card sketch. So I was going to do this yellow floral thing. I don't know why I keep going back to this yellow floral paper. I have no idea, but you know what? It's in my scrap stash and we're going to use what we got to use. So I kept gravitating towards it, but I ended up not using that yellow floral because I was like, I need a flag that's a little bit bigger. And you guys can see I also cut out a little circle because that was part of the card sketch, so I cut out a circle in that minty polka dot paper. But I liked the flag in the gold better. So the card sketch had 2 flags on this card. I wasn't liking how 2 flags looked, so I did the 1 flag. I still did a circle, and I didn't put it the same way that they did, and I didn't put the sentiment the same way that they did. They had it on the bottom right hand. I did it over the circle, but still so the circle shows top and bottom on both sides a little bit. So this was just another card. I don't love this one either, but it is what it is. Sometimes you get ones that are prettier than others, and that's just the way it is. So, you know, we're just using up scraps, so it's fine. They're still cute. The sentiments are awesome. I love the sentiments, these mermaid sentiments. So this was card number 10, and now I'm going to show you guys all the cards we made in closer up detail. Alright guys, so we made 10 cards so far. I still have more die cut like pieces to make some more cards, probably like another 10. I'm going to save that for another video because this is a lot, guys. So here is one card. I'm just kind of go through just to show you guys. I'm not going to go through like what I did, but just showing you guys up close. Here is another card. This one says mermaids have more fun. So let me arrange it like this so you guys could see them all. Alright, we got this one. Swim with mermaids and never grow up. This one that says shell yeah. We got this one that says look at the stuff, isn't it neat? We've got this one that says I'm done adulting, let's be mermaids instead. We got this one that says mermaid off duty. We got this one that says be a mermaid and make waves. We got this one that's just got like a mermaid tag on it. And then we got this one that says I am a mermaid. And those are my 10 cards. So I hope you guys enjoyed this process video. Let me know what you guys think. I had fun making it and just trying to use up not only the die cuts, but this is all scrap paper in my stash. So that was super awesome. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next crafty video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.